Check it, man. We got big L-Dog on one. We call this the Nipsey bikes, man. These big bikes. Yeah, you know.
Real big.
Real big bikes. Real big time.
Nip said one day I'm going to do it real big.
Yeah, Nip said he going to do it real big. So we wanted to call these the Nipsey bikes. So we going to make them. We're going to try to get them out next year and shit. Everybody
big time, big wheel.
You big time, big wheel Nipsey bike. That's L-Dog right there.
You already know. Neighborhood.
L-Dog. Tell me where you going today, L-Dog, on that bike.
I'm going to Hollywood, man.
What you going to Hollywood for, bro?
For the Walk of Fame star from Nipsey Hussle in front of Amoeba Music Store.
See? He knows exactly where he goes.
Yes, sir. I'm going to pull up and I'm going to be bumping nothing but Nip acting a fool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Really congratulating brother. Happy for him, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
For sure.
He got a star on Walk of Fame before Rollo did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Rollo got one, though.
He ain't got one yet?
Yeah, they get Rollo one yet?
No.
That's crazy, man. Rollo's OG, man.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Right.
They tripping right now. I know. We had all kind of stars around this motherfucker.
They had
man.
Rollo's picture next at Nipsey's funeral, remember?
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm
Yeah. We all grew up together around this motherfucker, man.
Sir.
Yeah. All right, bro. We wanted to get you on highlights this morning, man. We out of here.
All right, y'all. Neighborhood.
Yeah.
Today, what did they call it back then?
It was just nothing. It was East Side, West Side. East Side, West Side. And I was a baby crip. And it's like this, man. It's a trip because people say, who put you on? I don't know nothing about that.
You were born.
I was born there, bro. And that's all I know. And my friends were my friends. And I love my friends. You know what I mean? When I was at 54, bro, if you mess with any of my friends, I'm finna get at you. On the real life, like I was not a bully, but I protected my friends. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we was like, we loved each other. We played sports together. We did everything together. It was, it was like not none of the things that go on today. And it's hard for me to even talk about it because I know how things change and how people are sensitive about certain things. But man, the ones like, watch this, man. If you went to 54th School Elementary, you know who I am. I'm for real shit.
Period.
You know who Ellis Pendleton is. You know what I'm saying? Baby Al ended up being the L-Dog. You know what I'm saying? Man, I stayed on my bike road. I was the Devo, the first Devo. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious, man. And man, Joe Juicy Burger, bro, man, stories. Just that whole area up there, all my life. That's all I know, man. That's all I know. And it's like this. I respect each and every person, whoever said today, whatever, for this, what it is. But I don't like the part of hurting your friends. I never did that. So I don't understand that part. That, that's the hard part for me because I ain't never had a fight with none of my own boys. My friends, never in my life. So that's different for me. You know what I mean? Because we cared about each other. And it was like, we just don't do that.
So,
you know what I mean?
How did you feel then when everything started to unfold with the 60s and the 8 trays?
That was weird too.
Something you just backed away from?
You know what? My era, Kody, who is,
Monster
Kody. His brother Kerwin and Candace's sister on him, we walked to 54th School together. We used to walk to school together.
Yeah.
He was one of my best, Kerwin was one of my best friends when I was growing up. You know what I mean? You didn't know that. You didn't know about what was going to happen down the line. Right. And I haven't seen him since elementary school. And I never came across none of those people that I went to school with that end up being major figures in these different gangs and killing all the stuff that was going on. I never bumped heads with none of them in my life as I grew up. And I'm 60 years old right now as we do this. And I never seen them after those times. And I ain't never went nowhere neither though. But at the same time, we never had that. And if I had seen me and we see each other, I know it would have been no issue because the simple fact is, we never had it like that.
Y'all were partners before.
Man, it was like this, bro. How could you be mad at somebody you never had a problem with? It never was like that, so I don't understand. You know what I mean? I wouldn't understand it.
Right.
I really wouldn't. And that's just real shit.
Okay, now, in your time and in your day, what were some of the roughest and toughest blocks in this area? Like blocks you just didn't want to, you had to know somebody.
Man, Brian Hurst off top. 10th Avenue. You know what I'm saying? That was like, you know, that's the hub. It's like anywhere in that little area, 60th, Brynhurst, Hyde Park. Man, you got that was the baddest parts. You know what I mean? Victoria. All through there, it was just like that became like the heart of the 60s, you know what I'm saying, from what I know. And I grew up there my whole life. That's where it was at, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, bro, you know?
Okay, I want to ask you about the Los Angeles Police Department. Back then, in the 70s and 80s.
You know what? That's a trip, though, because we actually, it was always us, it was always, there go the police. They would ride by and not say nothing. But then it started to the point where they would ride by and ask you, who are you, what you doing over here? When I grew up, the police came only when you called them. They didn't ride around just to be around, just riding around looking and, you know, just being there. It wasn't like that. For our neighborhood, for what I say, when I grew up, we didn't have a lot of problem with the police because the police didn't come over here and do nothing until the 80s. When it really got to, you know, that real problem, that started like in the 80s.
Right, so it was much more mellow police relations back in the 1970s.
Hey, you know why? People mind their business and you didn't talk, you didn't say nothing, so you know what, nothing. You know what I'm saying? But when the 80s hit and the colors came out and that movie came out and all that drama they put out there, that started the whole get down to drug, you know, all the shit started back in the 80s. That's when it really, because let me tell you something, gang banging, and I be wanting to tell you the truth. I don't know what that is. I know what it is, but I never affiliated with that like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
I didn't do the fighting. It was, you know, for my friends, my homies like that, and I did 20 years straight in the penitentiary. You know, full-fledged with the 60 thing and all that, but if I know you, I know you. Right. And you know me, and you know I get down. Everything after that, I didn't even trip with it because it wasn't no need to. I'm not that type of person to want to hurt nobody unless you're trying to mess with me or my family. It was a family thing, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that, but because I see what happened, you know, man, I'm not with that. I'm not with that.
Now, so I want to go back to your Crenshaw High School days. Inside Crenshaw High, the front entrance. Was this the late 70s?
I got to Crenshaw High in 1977.
Okay. So, did you hear anything or see anything about Ice-T?
Yeah, I know Tracy. We all grew up. We grew up. I knew him and Sean.
Tracy, you know him personally.
Man, because him and my brother really knew each other. My brother's an actor. You know, he got into the acting and all that. See, that's another thing, too.
What's your brother's name?
My brother's Charles Penland. His name is Chucky. Okay. You know, we grew up with Rollo. See, for Nipsey and all that, Rollo from Sanford's son, the real Rollo. You know what I mean? That's another person I didn't mention because, you know, this little thing, it kind of got me a little nervous, but man, listen, bro, we grew up like a family. Rollo from Sanford's son, the real Rollo, man, that's like my father. That all girls until he had a son. But that man, RuPaul, man, look here, bro, man. It's so many. Look, for real. They say how it takes a village to raise a child. Man, we was one knit family like up there because the Ricks. And I'll bring you up to you. The Ricks is a family called the Ricks. Okay. My brother ended up being one of my brothers. He was a friend of ours named Philip Ricks. They lived on Mudland. In our area. His mother had passed away, and I guess his father couldn't. I don't know the real story inside their house, but everybody got dispersed out the house. And somebody in the neighborhood took all the kids in. Right. We took in Philip and Greg Montgomery, Greg, my people, my family. All the people I'm talking about, they all like family to me. They took the Robnettes, took the girls. We took Philip, and Greg's cousin them took Victor. And it's all in a 3-4 block radius right there.
Right.
And man, see, that's what you call family. And knowing somebody, we all went to school together. We all, and matter of fact, Philip is the one that beat up my friend Carlos, who was my best friend, and became the king of 54th Street School Elementary. Back then you used to go down to the gully and fight. If you had to fight, because people, you couldn't just walk down the street and be fighting, doing nothing. People get out their car and stop it and take. It was really black love. You know what I'm saying? And man, up there, Nathaniel Taylor, Rollo, he became, I guess what you call him, Jourdain. They call him. He's opened up a studio on 54th and Dean, where you could come there and learn arts and learn how to act and do all that kind of stuff. And they used to go to YAs and different places and do plays and stuff like that. And people sprung off from out of our neighborhood, became big time actors. You know what I'm saying? Roy Fagan went to school with me at 54th Street Elementary, grew up with all us, and Forrest Whitaker, my brother Chuck, and all the big time, did nice stuff.
You said Forrest Whitaker?
Forrest Whitaker. We grew up in the neighborhood.
The Forrest
Whitaker. Went to Palisades. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people, like Ice-T, man, it's a lot of people grew up in our neighborhood, man, that became famous and stuff like that. But when we grew up, Rollo is the first one. And nobody talk about Nate Taylor. He was a real black man. The whole, the natural, the leather coats and the dropping the El Dorado, the El Dogg, you know what I'm saying? And he had all girls. Man, a real black man. You know what I'm saying? For real. But he built a studio. And we used to have parties there and all that kind of stuff. But he taught drama and acting and all that kind of stuff. And man, just like when Nip passed away. They had Rollo sit right next to him.
Did they?
They had that thing, yeah. They represented Nate Taylor. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Rollo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. A lot of people, man.
So was Ice-T known as a hustler? Was he a player?
Back then, everybody, it wasn't about, watch this. It was about being cool, staying, like people that, you wanted everything, because we didn't have much. So anything you had, you took care of it. So, you could tell from those who wanted to, like, watch the house parties and stuff, like going to parties. Like a lot of dudes used to do, they never slow dance before. Went to a party and had to ask a girl, you want to dance? And slow dance me, the whole get down. All those kind of things like that, man, brings togetherness, like being the VNGs being over here. And how we are, we grew up with all these, I grew up with all them dudes. I went to 54, they went to Anderson Mesa.
You grew up with the V? You grew up
with Gary Ziegler, Lloyd Washington, a lot of the people. And I played basketball for 54. I was on the first basketball team, 54. They had a basketball team, started basketball. I was the point guard. And we came down here and smashed everything.
And these are the Van Ness boys you speak.
Yep. And a lot of dudes that grew up, when we grew up like this, watch this. First you had to meet in there at school or at the park or in the little area where we grew up at, right?
Right.
That's how you met people. You went to school with them. Even though you might, like Western Avenue, Anderson Mesa, and all the other different schools, Overwright, all these, like Windsor Hills, all these different schools, that's real close together. You end up knowing these people, you know them, but you don't know them like you know on your block and in a little radius or went to school with you, right? You became friends. And they had a church right up here on 54th and Rimpole. We used to play basketball at that church. They had a basketball court out there. Dude named Deep Johnson played at Crenshaw with Marcus Johnson. He went to a party and got on somebody games with drugs. Dude was bad as hell though. But we used to sit out on that grass and we would talk. People would talk. You meet people. You learn and from the people around you. But man, in our community, in our era, in our community, this was a very, very, very close knit black community. You know what I mean? My mom worked at Rouse Market forever. She was a cook before she was a cashier. And everybody used to go to the Rouse, just go to that snack bar because my mom was cooking there. Right. We ended up having a restaurant on Crenshaw called Mama's House.
Mama's House?
Yep. Right across the street from Andrew's funeral home. Yep. And my mom cooked for us. Many celebrities, Steve Harvey shows and Living Single and all these different little things. And my uncle owned Ronald's Clothing on Vernon, Vermont. So we was like, my cousin Charlotte and all Herman and Sherman and Marshall, they lived in their group in the 40s. You know what I'm saying? Moved to Ladera Heights. My cousin Patricia David, she's like a cousin Patricia David danced on Soul Train. You know, my Aunt Gertrude Gibson. She was the entertainment writer for the Sentinel newspaper, the black newspaper. You know, so we was well connected. My grandfather was the first black judge in Los Angeles.
What's his name?
Ellis Penland. I'm named after my grandfather, my uncle, and me.
Okay.
I'm the third. But you know, we was connected. I didn't understand it when I was a kid, but as I grew up to understand how in a community of a black culture, how you think how people move in and be there. We've been here. But before I was here and grew up, my family had been here. My mother's from South Carolina. My father's from California. So, like I tell you, I was born right on 4th Avenue, 54th. Right down Street, Vance Beach Elementary, right down the street here. Right across the street. And my whole life, it was like right in this little area. Right in this little area. But before me, my family, they was right in this area. My uncle, named Elledge, who I'm named after my father's brother. You know, you had all the clubs on Crenshaw. You know, you had
What clubs are those?
you had like where you got what's the name of that club that it burnt down? It was where the Gap Band started at. Dang. Yeah, man.
Tell us the ones you can remember.
You had the page 4. You had the name of the game. You had man, what was the name of that club? Man, I can't. Man, no, it's clever. I'm fart-headed right now.
It'll come to you.
Yeah,
I want to
but
go back to the.
that's where the Gap Band, a lot of the Whispers and all that kind of stuff started right there.
They would play.
That's those clubs
On Crenshaw.
on Crenshaw. And my auntie, you know, being the entertainment right for the newspaper, the section Sentinel, you know, that's entertainment. So that brings, you know, if you don't write about it, you ain't gonna know about you.
Right.
So that right there gave a lot of light to us, you know what I mean, my family as we grew up. But you know, working with my auntie and being with my auntie there, Ronald clothing, that was a big thing because, you know, Ronald dressed all the black people in LA. Everybody went to Ronald's. You went to rolling your knickknacks, leather coats, and seamless slacks and all that stuff, you went to Ronald's. Ronald Burner, Vermont. You know what I mean? For real. Yes, sir.
Okay, now we were speaking about the Van Ness boys. Do you know anything about Michael Jourdain?
Man,
In this
yes, I do.
neighborhood?
Yep, Mike used to come to my house. My mama loved him. If my phone, I had my phone, I got a picture still of my mother holding my nephew Dayon, Odie Shaw's son. No matter of fact, she's holding my sister Charlesetta. She's holding her son. Perry got a baby by her too. Little Perry. That's my nephew. See, that's like my family, you know what I'm saying? Cappuccino. We all, it's man, it's.
So Cappuccino has a baby by your sister.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And Michael Jourdain used to come over to that house too?
Yep, he had a baby by her first.
So none of the original West Side Crips or 60s tripped on them? They were all partners? Or?
Hey, listen to me. You came to my house, my mama, everybody knew my mother. My mother was a good cook. But Michael Jourdain, I got a picture of Michael Jourdain holding, my mother's holding his son at his christening, I believe it was.
Wow. Okay, now I want to ask you about the overheels, the back hood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just name some names, and you can just tell me, you know, if you remember being dominant or if you don't remember anything at all about them. The first one is Squally Davis.
That's my cousin.
Squally Davis is your cousin.
Listen, that's my brother. I can see, you know why? Because, and to tell you the truth, I live on 58. And he, you know, what we call it at, right across the street on the corner. That's my family. That's my family.
Squally Davis was the real deal?
The real deal.
Everybody speaks of
I
it.
introduced Squally. Matter of fact, Squally took me. I met a girl named Rhonda Norton coming from Venice Beach one day at the ice skating rink in Culver City. She lived in Baldwin Hills. Went over her house. Her sister ended up being Cheryl Norton. Ended up being the singer Sherelle.
Sure.
And Squally dropped me off over there one day, and I believe that's how he met her.
Okay, it's good history right there.
Yeah.
The next guy out of that area that a lot of people speak about is Big Cat.
Kevin Doucette.
You ever seen him?
Man, I was here before you came.
Yeah.
I remember him and my brother had a fight back in the day, growing up. You know how kids fight.
Right.
But Brian, his brother, Little Cat, that was one of my best friends.
Okay.
Yep, them my chaos. Them, look, we all grew up together. We all grew up together, but we was here before they came.
Right, now, what about Big Peanut? Do you remember?
I met him recently, but I never had met him because I did.
He's up under you, right?
Yeah, I went to the penitentiary, and we moved. We didn't move. My family, we moved from over there. We moved on Eucalyptus in Inglewood, right? And that's what I was playing. After '75, I was playing football for Inglewood Pop Warner. But I heard of him. You know what I'm saying? And you know, me personally, I got nothing but love for my hood, for real. And I never got into what happened and how people did things that I wasn't there. So I can't say nothing about it.
Right.
And a lot of people don't even know me. Believe it or not, don't really even know me. But bro, believe it. I'm one of the first ones that ever wrote their name in them alleys up there. I was the king of 54th Street Elementary when I went there. You feel me? On the real shit. And it's a lot of, I'm 60 years old, so you imagine that. I'm 60. Right now, sitting in front of you, I'm 60 years old.
Right.
You do the math. And who went to school with me and grew up with me.
Okay. Now I want to ask you about a older lady from this area that Bubba Loke has a lot of respect for, Cappuccino has a lot of respect for, many others. I just want to know, have you heard of her? And can you tell me something about her? And that's Triple OG Sis.
What's her real name? I don't.
She doesn't want her name out.
Well,
She
I
knows
don't.
about Sis. You don't know her name Sis?
But you know what? I really, no, I don't. I don't know her like that. No, I don't.
Okay. All right. This next one, we were talking about OG Cutes and the Magnificent Seven. I kind of want to go back to them. And can you tell me something about Mouse and Cutes that you can remember? And any other, the other brothers?
Yeah. Mouse used to be Mouse used to go with my sister. I got a sister named Sharon. Yeah. And he used to be he used to be sitting on my couch in my house.
Is he really as big as everybody says he was?
Buff, big old natural,
Even
everything.
Craig Munson speaks highly
Yeah, he was sitting right in my ass. He used to be in my house. Right on 58, yeah.
All right, now what about OG Cutes? Because he
Cutes?
gets a lot of respect.
Watch this, Cutes.
Cappuccino loves OG.
I love Cutes too, though. Watch this. I know Cutes. You see, I'm younger than him, so I only seen him, so I can't speak about nothing. But I know all the history. I know all the history. But when I was in the penitentiary, coming through Donovan, I seen Cutes. And I had a photo album, and I said, man, I showed him, all I did was show him the photo album and told him who I was. And that's all it took. He started crying.
That's it.
That's it.
It
ain't no, you know how people don't believe you and all that, who you are and all this, because I ain't nobody. It was before me, you know, people was before me.
Right.
And I respect it. I don't knock nobody from whatever you say you are, if that's who you are, that's cool with me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, I am who I am. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Were you at any of the big time crib meetings in the late 70s that would happen at St. Ellen Park or?
You know, watch this. I didn't do that stuff like that. I didn't know. When they was having meetings and doing all that kind of stuff like that, I tried to be, I wanted to play professional football. I really chased a football career. So, but at the same time, a lot of people say, oh, well, you didn't do nothing for the hood. But see, you know, and all that kind of stuff like that, see, and I'm not knocking nobody for what things that happened. Because, like I say, I've been through it, and I've been through a lot of shit behind this neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Doing my time in the prison and on the streets. And I'm really, I love everything about it. You know, I'm with it, like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just, no. And to this day, I'm just not a killer. I'm ready to be better than that. But there ain't nothing wrong with that. See what I'm saying? Right. But I respect each and every person. Right. And I know a lot of them, they love me. And I watch it, doing my 20 years in prison, I took care of gang of my homeboys. You feel me? Because I grew up like that. I'm with it, but I just don't, some people just don't do it. Everybody got a place and a position. I know mine.
Okay. I'm going to go back to your Crenshaw High Ice-T days.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all right, Crenshaw High. Do you remember him being affiliated with the 5-6 Syndicate?
Yeah, because I know Sean and Donnie. I know Sean. I know his best man. You know, Gretchen Butler, Sean Butler. We all went to school together. We all went to 54. Sean, See, Tracy, Ice-T Tracy is my brother. He's my brother's age, and I respect the game. See, like Boogie, we got a friend named Boogie. Everybody, see, it's a lot of people that's gone that people don't know about. See, like Tracy messed with Sean. That's his boy, Sean. His side people that be on stage with him and all that. We all work together. But whatever happened and him just rapping how he did what he did and things that happened, I can't really tell you. But man, dude was he was a hustler in the game. He was a player. You fly. You know what I'm saying?
Were all the 5-6 syndicates like? Was that kind of what they stood for? Just like hustlers.
They was hustlers.
Dressers,
They were dressers. They was fast talkers, gamblers. You know, it was always about, it was like this. It's trying to survive. It wasn't about killing each other. See, that's where we go wrong at with people. Everybody, because the sticky part of this is when it came to the killing. If you were 60, see what I'm saying? And see, I gotta keep it real because I love myself now. That's I'm glad I did. Hey, bro, that's something I don't know about dealing with that because I want to be good. You know what I'm saying? When it's because I believe in God and all that. Whatever you want to do, whatever. It wasn't me, but I don't take nothing from it because a lot of people lost their lives. A lot of people got hurt. You know what I mean? So would I? Yeah, I would, but I didn't.
Right, I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, in your opinion, the assassinations of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, do you think that played a part in the rise of the Blood and Crips in Los Angeles?
Yep. And you know what the cool part about it is that I know that's what it started about, protecting ourselves from those who was trying to hurt us. And we know how that go. Right. You know, as we grow up, we just try to have an understanding about life and things that happen. So in saying that, I just wish it would have took a turn how we do ourselves. That's the only thing. That's why it's so hard for me to do this interview because we hurt ourselves more than we hurt others. We hurt others, we hurt ourselves. Because if it had to go down, we need everybody. We all the same. Right. We didn't understand that, just like the crack cocaine. I didn't know that shit was as bad as it was. When you're going to find out in the end. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad I'm still here. You know what I'm saying? In my right mind. But man, that's a cold thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we lost a lot of people that didn't have to do that when you're only doing yourself. Right. You know what I mean?
You think ex-President Ronald Reagan took it to another level?
A whole nother level. I was in the penitentiary doing all that time. Even the riots and all that, watching the pen, I watched all that. You know, with the shit that was going on, and they locked us down and everything, and it's cool.
How was that sitting back being a man from born and raised in Los Angeles, watching your city burn?
Man, it was hard for me because my mother was out here, my family, and it was happening right. It's like, when I was looking at it, it was like, oh, they right by my house.
Crenshaw.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was like, now I want to have my family, you know what I mean? See, come back to that, my family first. You know what I mean? Right. And it was like, man, it was bad. But looking at the history, you see, I didn't understand things that happened before. It happened before, and it just happened again. It's just sad how they turned it and made it like we did it to ourselves. Right. You know what I mean? Right. That's the part that hurt because we was in the pen, sitting in themselves going, man, look at this shit, man. Golly. You know what I mean? When they got my Feco, when used to be Feco over there, I mean, it were, you know, just different places. And I was like, oh, man, my mama right around the corner from there. You know what I'm saying? It's about my mama, my family. Oh, man. So it hurt. It hurt a lot, man. I missed all that.
Okay. I just want to ask you this about Cappuccino. Was Cappuccino the real deal back then?
Real deal.
1970s and 80s,
hey,
you remember?
You know what? Let me tell you something. I can't tell a lie. I gotta tell the truth. Everybody lives their life, but I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And each individual had to do whatever they had to do to survive growing up in this neighborhood. You know what I mean? And man, it was a trip because it's like family. So how can I not know the person that he was? I heard when I was young, and to the point when I got to go to my first concert and hang out with my own family and friends and my homies and shit. It was at his house. He was with my sister Charlesetta. We was going to the concert at the San Diego Cool Jazz Festival.
San Diego Cool Jazz
Yep,
Festival.
we was right here on High Park. Until that, we was at his house, and we got pictures standing there. Me and all my sisters, except my older sister. It was my sister Sharon, me, my brother Philip, my sister Googie, my brother Chucky, and we took a picture standing right there. We finna go to the Cool Jazz Festival, and we got pictures of not just when we got there. It's a trip because when we got there, we take a picture. You should see the pictures. Man, it's all the people that I grew up with, all the G's from the hood. You know, that real, the big naturals and everything. My sister Gooey right there, Charles Edis. Everybody was in this, Cynthia and Kay and everybody was in this picture. And I'm looking, I'm going, wow. Even my brother's friend, Donald Fuller, who he's the actor, he's in that picture. You know what I mean? It's just a trip how you can look at that and you can see the culture of the black culture, but it's the 60s, but it's family. And we started this shit, bro. Yeah.
All right, OG L Dogg. I'm gonna let you get out of here. I just wanna know if you have anything you want, a message, a word of the day, anything you want to say to the kids.
Yes, I do, because you know I know I stumbled through this because now I'm starting to feel a little bit better about doing the video because I've never done this before. Right. You know, and it's kind of like people say you don't know how to get in front of the camera.
You're doing a good job.
Because but then for me, I feel like it's a whole lot I could have said. I could have said, but it's not about making yourself better than nobody else. It's just like this. I don't like when people see me, I see somebody and they want to say, oh, you ain't from over there, you ain't this, you ain't that, because you didn't do this, you didn't do that. And see, that's not what make it. You know what I'm saying? That's a lie. Because I've been here from the beginning, and I'm still here, and I'm finna turn 61 in June, and I done put work in, man, in all different facets of growing up in this hood shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of shit I regret. It's a lot of shit I don't regret. And I know a lot of people lost their family members and a lot of loved ones, and it's hard like that. But see, when it comes to me, it was always about my family. When I walk in the door and go in the house, that's that right there, that I didn't understand, that's what's most important. Right. But also when I walked out that door, it was different families who helped me in time where my family couldn't help me. Like my friend Conrad, my friend Dorian, my friend Kevin White and his family, them people raised me, man. I didn't have a daddy. I had a daddy, but I didn't have a daddy. Because I like sports. My brother liked doing what he acting, doing what he doing. We doing people different, but I was an outside guy type of person. And I was out there fighting and scruffing and doing all this. Man, I'm telling you, man, look, man. To all my loved ones like Charles Lloyd, Big Looney, Waco, Pricey, you know, it's not Kevin Deuce, it's not a lot of people that I can mention that I know. If you didn't go to school with me and wasn't raised with me, it ain't my fault. I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth. Because a lot of people moved in, came, gone, and grew up and I was gone and did all that. But that don't make me no different than you will come from where I come. Because it is what it is. But watch here. I was here when the shit was really rough though. You know what I'm saying? But they got it. I was really rough to have things and to try to become a man. Because you needed a man to raise a man. But what I seen after that, because I had to raise my nephew, and then I went and did all that time, and I love my nephew like he's my son. You know what I mean? And that's Odie's son. Right. And I know what Odie, I know it. See, it's a difference, man. You know what I mean? And like right now, like with Odell just passing, all of a sudden, see, man, I love from what I know, not from somebody told me. And what somebody seen on TV and all that. You know what I mean? We got a lot of people that we haven't even mentioned, and people call them busters, this and that, and it ain't about that. Because, like I was the king of 54, but they probably do take whoop my ass, but they didn't know they had it in them. They didn't, you know, some people didn't want to do certain things. Right. I didn't want to kill nobody, shoot like, because, you know, I don't know how to do that. But watch this, I done whooped a whole lot of ass, but I bet you a lot of them dudes didn't win because they were scared. Right. But they probably could have whooped me. Right. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to for sure try to get you back for another episode.
When I can be under control, because look, right there, this supposed to be Easter Sunday. Getting here was hard for me, you know what I mean? Because right down to this day, I'm still going through shit. You know what I'm saying? From growing up in this goddamn neighborhood and going to the prison and all that. But it's like this, bro. It's a lot of solid dudes that's real. That real nigga, what you want to call it, whatever. But the true thing is, man, if you really, my homeboy love me, nigga, don't kill me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna, because I've never, you know what I mean? That's the part, that's the hard part. Because now they just like, if you don't, but it end up being your own, I can't do that. And that's what the part where they try to say, if you real, if you not, I can't understand it. I really can't. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm not trying to be somebody and blow up here, I remember I did this, I did all that. That's, you know what I mean? That don't make, that's a lot of mistakes. Okay. You know, I was Robin Hood. I robbed from the rich and bring it back to the poor. You know what I'm saying? That's me.
So
you know what I'm saying?
So that's L Dogg's word of the day. You Family first.
Family first, man. You know what I'm saying? And, but watch this. But we all family. And the only reason I can't love you and do the right thing by you because you won't let me. You know what I'm saying? That's how people are right now. If I go outside and see a little black dude, bro, really mean my heart, I want to see the best, want everything the best for you because I'm going through the same thing you're going through. But you're going to look at me and see what I got on and all that and see the other things that you're going to want to do something to me. That's the bad part when I don't know no different, nigga. This is all I know. Look at me right now to this day how I did. I'm not a shoe person. I'm a tennis shoe. I'm that real outside, bust your knees up at 60 years old right now. I ride a bike every day, bro. I don't drive no car. You know what I mean? But watch this. I love the hood. And I'm with it. And like I say, y'all know me from the dare. They know me. Hey, look. Those who need to know, they know. Those who don't know, they ain't fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, fans.
Yeah, I walk real good line.
That's OG Dogg.
Baby out first.
Baby out.
Baby out, West Side, baby Crip. You know what I'm saying? Grew up to be Dogg, the big Dogg neighborhood, rolled 60 Crip, nigga, for real. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no good, but I'll give it that program when I fight, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I can fight like a motherfucker, but I'm not a killer.
All right, fans. That's Lil Haiti Films, Cappuccino in New York presents. And until next time, we'll see you again.
For real.